Hello, gamers! Let me switch to chatting. Give it a minute. It'll go. Up. For whatever reason, on the up there. Nope, there goes the spiral again. No, we love the spiral. Okay, let me put on my tunes. I want stream playlist. No, I want normal stream playlist. Okay. How are we doing today, chat? Also, YouTube chat, can you guys hear the music? Does the music work for you? Is it working? Is it working? Is everything good? Guys, we have 77 submissions already. 78. I just watched the number go up. YouTube chatters, can we hear the music? Hold on. Yes, yes. Okay. If you guys can hear, then that's good. This is great news. Fantastic news. Okay. So we're going to go over to the game scene because I want to play Minecraft while I read these. Are you guys excited? One in the chat if you're excited. I'm going to wait for the ones. There's a lot of yeses. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So I'm gonna assume that that's a we're excited. Incredible. Give it a second. The spiral really doesn't want to stay consistent today. There we go. We're starting off strong, guys. We're starting off really strong with... This is a really deep question, guys. What is your worst fear? I am a hypochondriac. My worst fear is getting sick. The doctor hates to see me coming. The doctor hates to see me coming. But also, guys, I did a little off-camera building. I didn't do much. But I did a little off-stream building since the last time I was on this world. Yeah, but no, my biggest fear is probably getting sick. Constructive criticism, 6203, coming in here with the death. That's really deep. That's really deep. I just realized that I didn't moderate any of the new mods. So new mods, if you can do me a huge favor and type something in the chat so that I can mod you, that would be great. New mods, if you can do that. Hold on. There we go. I got Scuba mod. Scuba's got mod. Any other mods? If you're new and you don't have mod yet, we got new mods, guys. Alright, it's me, I'm new mod. I just closed the Twitch thing. Hold on. How do I have to copy your username? Hold on. I'm typing commands, guys. I'm typing commands. Okay. I knew I was missing something. I can't ever just start a stream and everything's done. Anyways, gamers. Also, YouTube chat. I have another question for you guys. Can you hear my game audio? I'm gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna break a bunch of blocks, and then you tell me if you can hear my game audio. I'm also new mod. God damn it. Hold on. Okay. Stewip boy. Thank you for the gifted sub. You're a real one. We're gonna move on to our next question. Oh, wait. YouTube chat. Can you guys hear my game? If I open this door, can you hear it? Nobody can hear my game, actually. Wait a minute. Why can nobody hear my game? Hold on. See, that would be it. How about now? Can we hear the game now? Can we hear it now? YouTube chat, do we hear it now? YouTube chat still can't hear it for some reason. That is very bizarre. Yes, yes, we can. This is great news. This is great news. Everything's working, guys. This is so great. Okay. Okay, next caller. Do you know the Muffin Man? Actually not super familiar. If the chatters could inform me on who this Muffin Man is, that'd be really great. I don't think I know him. I think it's a bit delayed. Yeah. All right. Next caller. What's your favorite animal and why? I'm a big fan of cats. I'm allergic to them, but I like them. I think they're cool. I have 2 of them. They're really cool. My one cat, Forrest, she likes to sing. Hype train? What do you mean hype train? What? There's so many things happening. I'm so overstimulated. Okay, next caller. I just think cats are cool. I don't really have a reason. Do you have any gender-affirming tips for a closeted transmasc 14-year-old? I would honestly say, clothes. Clothes are really, really everything. And I'm not even saying that in a sense of like, oh, just like go buy things that are gonna help you pass. Go buy things that make you feel good. You know, like go find clothes that make you feel good about yourself. And things that make you feel masculine. Another thing I would recommend is binders, but make sure that you are not getting them from Amazon. And make sure they are not like the clasp binders. Clasp binders are dangerous. They will hurt you. I have a flared rib cage from the type of binders I used to use when I was 14. Don't do that. It's gonna permanently damage your body. And that's bad. Anyways, next caller. What time is it? It is a solid 8:10 p.m. I am in the Eastern time zone, Eastern Standard Time. So that's about what time it is for me. Can we get a time check? What time is it for everybody? Anyone stream glitching? Don't say that to me. Don't say that to me. I'll start tweaking. Wow. I'm seeing some military time in the chat. All right, next caller. What? What do you mean? It's saying there's a problem with the file. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I have to refresh. Dude, you guys are not going to believe what just crashed the Google Forms. Hold on. This is the question that broke the Google Forms, everybody. Do you support furries? I love furries. Any furries in chat? If you're a furry, type a 2 in the chat. Where are all my furries? You guys are all crazy talented. You guys are like curing illnesses and making vaccines and making a fursuit. Are you kidding me? Look at all those furries in the chat. This is great. We love furries here on the Gravel channel. Big furry supporters here. Anyways, next caller. Yes, I have played Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. The live stream is on my channel. It's you can watch it either on Twitch or on YouTube. But I have played it. What do you mean, wait, what? You have wolf in your username. Are you saying you don't like furries? You literally have, you cannot say you don't like furries if you have the word wolf in your username. How tall are you? I'm a solid, you know what? I'll tell you guys what it says on my ID. I'm a solid 5'1". They had to give me the extra half an inch. They had to round. And they did me good that day, and they rounded up. Yeah, I'm only able to add new mods, but hold on, I'll add you real quick, Shrek. Can a mod confirm that that's the right username? Yeah, I'm just a little guy. I'm quite short. What's 1 plus 1? This is a trick question. It's 2. It's 2. It's 2. I got it. I know I did. Anyways, next caller. No. No, you should not. That, I feel like that is crossing the threshold of parasocial into things that I don't want to mentally handle. Please don't do that. Please, please do not do that. Next caller. What is the origin of the chat nickname Pebbles? So you guys know how my name's Gravel, right? What is Gravel? Gravel is just a bunch of pebbles. And I wouldn't be doing this, and I would not be making content without all of the pebbles that make up Gravel. So that's why you guys are the Pebbles. Does that make sense? I've said this a couple times before. But yeah, that's why you guys are the Pebbles. Because I wouldn't be here. Gravel wouldn't exist without the Pebbles. It would be nothing. Next caller. When are you going to get your girlfriend a chair? I am working on it. Listen. All I'm saying, gift some subs. Tip me through Stream Elements. I'll get her a real nice chair. I'll get her one of those ADHD chairs. That's the one that she wants. I've been saving up for a second chair in the office. Listen, the economy is in shambles, chat. The economy is in shambles, and she is not here for stream enough for me to be able to finance a chair. She's got a nice little folding chair right now. Eventually we will upgrade it. Next caller. Are you bi, pan, or straight? Neither. None of them. I'm none of them. You got it wrong. The three options, guys. It's the 3 options. Which, what do you mean? How hard was it transitioning, and how is life now that you are transitioned? I mean, transitioning itself, the only thing that was really difficult was the people that had problems with it. You take out all the people that had an issue with me being trans, and it would have been really easy. It would have been very manageable. But the thing that made it hard was the backlash and the stupid people. Transitioning really is not that straining. At least it wasn't for me. I was also, you know, very young when I transitioned. So that's definitely an aspect. What are you selling? Nothing good. I'm watching a Twitch stream. This is true. This is true. When did you realize you're trans? I realized when I was 9. I came out when I was 11. I honestly, it's really hard for me to answer most of the, like, when did you trans questions, because a lot of it, I was so young that it's like memories that are, like, in the back of the vault. Does that make sense? I walk like a villager, yeah? That's really cool. I sometimes also walk like a villager when it's cold out. Have you ever gotten hurt on a bike, scooter, or skateboard? If so, how bad was the injury? No. But I have gotten injured with roller skates. I've gotten a roller skating injury, and I broke my finger. So that was fun. What are some of your favorite musicals? Dear Evan Hansen and Heathers. Those are my top two. My top two are Dear Evan Hansen and Heathers. Hairspray is also up there. That's top three. My top three would probably be Dear Evan Hansen, Heathers, and Hairspray. How very LGBTQ of you listen. 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 Pull it together. Next caller. What is the fastest way to get in and out of your house to steal your chair? Definitely not a chair asking this. I'm on the second story most of the time. So probably through the door. Probably through the door. That would probably be your best bet. When did you and Belle makes me think of Brawl Stars? Don't ask me why. First meet. It was a week after I was released from a psychiatric institution. So like almost a year ago. Almost a year ago. She got me, listen guys, she got me fresh out of the loony bin. She got me fresh out of the loony bin. She heard that and she was like, this one's a keeper. This one's a keeper. For what reason were you there? I'm mentally ill. Ooh. I've got mental illness. Next caller. What brand is your fridge? I think Samsung. I want to say Samsung. Okay, lore drop. This is not a new lore drop. I talk about being mentally ill every stream. Every time I go live, I say something about being mentally ill. You're crazy? This one's a keeper. Anyways, next caller. I'm pausing the music for this one. From the same guy who threw a chair at a fellow student and got suspended. Well, I don't know if I want to read this one out loud because it sounds derogatory in my head. This is a really interesting way of saying, do I ever plan on having children? I would like to. I would like to one day. Real bizarre way of wording that. What are your tips for coming out as trans and gay? Make a PowerPoint presentation. Make it fun so that it feels less scary. That is really my best tip I could give you. If you make it feel less scary, then it won't be. Because most people aren't gonna hate you unless they suck. And in that case, maybe don't come out to them. I think that looks good. Okay. Next caller. What inspired you to make content? Like, something that made you want to be a content creator. Do you guys want the real answer to this? I've said this before. So, making videos was quite literally a therapy assignment from my therapist. If you are unfamiliar with me and the type of content that I make, I lived my life as, like, stealth for about, probably for about like, six-ish years. And I was so incredibly disconnected from the trans community that my therapist thought it would be a good idea if I made videos talking about being trans to connect with the trans community again. And that's how I started making content. It was a therapy assignment. But yeah. Anyways, next caller. Can you be trans masc and trans femme at the same time? I'm not gonna tell anybody how to identify themselves. I'm just confused as to how that would work. I'm just confused as to what the criteria would be there for that identity. I don't know. That's gonna be my answer. I don't know. Have you seen The Amazing Digital Circus? Yes, I have. And fun little fact for you guys. The new viewer SMP that I've been working on, I've taken a little bit of inspiration from The Amazing Digital Circus. So if you guys like The Amazing Digital Circus, you might be able to spot where that inspiration came from. Yeah, I'm aiming to get you guys more info about that relatively soon. All right, next caller. How did the brick fall on on your head as a child? Wasn't it glued in? So my family was in the middle of construction. Okay, it was in the middle of construction, and it was just a loose brick laying on the ground. And my younger brother had picked it up and taken it up to our tree house that we had at the time, and like waited for me. It was definitely premeditated, but waited for me to walk by, and then dropped it on me. So that's how the brick fell on my head. I forgot that I made a video about that. That's such an old video, too. Okay, next caller. How do you recommend getting your parents to allow you to use a binder / go on T? They're more worried about me regretting stuff than they're transphobic. For the binder one, that one is easy because it doesn't cause any permanent, anything. Like, nothing is permanent from using a binder. It's like wearing a sports bra. So that one should be no problem if you explain it like that. T is the harder one. Because that is all permanent. I mean, if they're worried about you regretting stuff, that is quite difficult to reverse. You could always try seeing if they would take you to a gender specialist and having them talk to a gender specialist first. To kind of make things a little easier, and maybe try hormone blockers at first. That is my only idea. So I'm also kind of locked in on building this right now. There we go. That's pretty solid. What are we thinking of this so far, guys? Anyways, next caller. If you bumped into someone on the street who had previously insulted you, rejected you, and demeaned you, but now claims to have changed, treats you politely, and asks for forgiveness, would you forgive them? And what would you say to people who are in the same situation? The person who used to be in, and genuinely wants to change. I'm assuming you're asking this from the perspective of the person who got bumped into. I think that while people can have many reasons as to why they are unwell, and why they are, like, mean and do mean things and do bad things, I don't think that means that anybody is particularly entitled to your forgiveness, even if they have changed. I think it's really dependent on the situation, what I would do personally. But I don't know. I think that this is one that, like, needs more detail for me to give a concrete answer. Ruby, I can't add anybody to the form because I have it pulled up on the tab, and if I do that, it'll glitch the whole stream out. I'm really sorry. But I guess what I would say is to think on it if you're conflicted. But just know that just because somebody apologizes does not mean you have to forgive them. It doesn't mean that you have to hate them, but it doesn't mean that you have to be their friend and forgive them either. That would be what I have to say on that. Sorry. But yeah, no, I think that this is one that's really difficult, especially when it's such a vague question like this. Because it's a very situational thing in my brain for me personally. I feel like if I had somebody that was mean to me and demeaning to me, I probably wouldn't want to be their friend anymore, but I would try not to harbor any hate for that person, and I would want to smooth things over if that opportunity is available, if that makes sense. Forgiveness can also be about for yourself. Yes, this is true. This is true. Anyways, next one. What was your inspiration to start streaming content creation? My therapist. My therapist gave me an assignment. Have you ever accidentally dead named yourself? No. At least not since I was like 11. Favorite and least favorite Pokemon. I hate Chikorita. I can't stand Chikorita. And my favorite is a tie between Trubbish and Mr. Mime. I'm sorry. I can't stand Chikorita. I cannot stand Chikorita. I cannot stand Chikorita. Chikorita didn't do anything, but Chikorita just is my least favorite Pokemon. I don't want nothing to do with Chikorita. I love Mr. Mime and I love Trubbish. Yeah, Chikorita is my least favorite Pokemon. That or probably... What's another Pokemon I really don't like? I'm trying to think on this one. I'm trying to think real long and hard on this one for you guys. I'm putting a lot of brain power into this question. I also, kind of don't like Zygarde. I think Zygarde's really ugly. Zygarde and Chikorita are probably my two least favorites at the moment. Zygarde's just really ugly. Anyways, next caller. Do you think it's okay I ate a whole thing of chapstick on accident? I think you're gonna be fine. I wouldn't recommend doing this regularly. I'm more concerned as to why this happened. What were the circumstances? Was this some sort of challenge? Were you trying to prove something? What was the reason, is more my concern. You think Zygarde's ugly, but you like Mr. Mime? Mr. Mime just reminds me of that one, Bugs Life guy. You know? Next caller. How many rats could you fight before tapping out? Probably one. At least one. I don't have a lot of willpower, is my problem. That's my main issue. Anyways, next caller. What year did you become trans? I don't remember. I was 11. Someone do the math for me. I'm too dyslexic. I can't do basic math while I'm playing Minecraft and reading Google Forms. It takes too much brain power. I was born in 03. Somebody smart, help. $2014, that sounds about correct. Anyways, next caller. Why did you start writing music? Like, what inspired you to? Trauma. Just trauma. I've never written a happy song in my life. They're all depressing. Every single one of them. I write some miserable, miserable music. My album that's coming out is actually called Discharge Papers, because of the psych ward. So, yeah, it was trauma. If people never hurt me, we wouldn't have gravel music. So, everybody say, thank you, evil people. Thank you, evil people. Thank you for the music, evil people. Did I hurt you, Gravel? Static, you could never. Static, you could never. Static, you are a being of peace. You quite literally are peace and love. You are, if you could turn, like, a home goods decor section into a person, it would be Static. I don't know if that made any sense, but I hope that does. Because I need it to. Thank you, evil people. But yeah, one good thing came from all of my trauma, and it was this album. But I have that weird smell, too. I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. That sheep's looking at that. No. Oh. You're making me uncomfortable. Anyways, next caller. What was that sound? What was that for? Somebody sub with Prime. Yo, HD, thank you for the Prime sub. Are you secretly one of those sour gummy worms with two colors, specifically the orange and green ones? There's a picture of me holding one of those at PAX East. I went to the trolley booth. And I took a picture with one of those. Anyways, next caller. Felix, thank you for the 5 bits. You gay? Some variety. Yeah. Completely opposite end of that term. I'm assuming you are talking about MLM, multi-level marketing. I'm taking a wild guess here and assuming you're talking about multi-level marketing. Flip it around. Am I gay? Yes. Do I like men? No. Does that make sense? Are we getting what I'm putting down here? Got any top surgery scars to show? They're on my Twitter. They are on my Twitter. I'm scared to show them on Twitch or TikTok because I might get in trouble. But I do have top surgery scars. I got double incision. I want to say almost 4 years ago now. Should I add you on my Tomodachi Life Island? Yes, you should. And please take a picture and keep me updated. Please take pictures, keep me updated. I want to know. I'm trying to run back to my house right now. I didn't realize it was getting that dark. Buh. I'm running. Full speed ahead. Oh, there's a creeper. Minecraft's Grim Reaper. Uh-oh. Okay. Do you know object shows? I don't have a clue what this is or what this means. Double doors inside? Yes, to my bedroom. Do you not like it, Bundleion? Do you have something to say? Gertrude got it. Gertrude got it. Anyways, next caller. I'm gay and a man. Please help me come out. My friend, this is not a question, but like I say to everybody, make it fun. Do like carpool karaoke or do a PowerPoint presentation. Make it just a ball. Have fun with it. Gravel, please? What do you mean, Gertrude? You got it. Watch object shows. I don't know what that means. I don't understand what that is. Next caller. What's your favorite childhood TV series? I watched a whole lot of Booba. I watched a whole lot of Booba when I was like, you know, single digits. Once I reached the double digits, I watched a whole lot of like Nickelodeon. I watched a lot of iCarly. Whole lot of iCarly. What else did I watch? I watched Yuri on Ice. that was a good one. What else did I watch as a kid? Gravity Falls. Oh, that wasn't grown yet. Uh-oh. Are any of these grown? Yeah, those are grown. Yuri on Ice is the gay show for Heartstopper? Yeah, pretty much. How did you figure out you are transgender? It wasn't something I had to figure out. It was like, once I learned what the term meant, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. I feel like it wasn't really something I had to figure out. It was just something I always knew. Does that make sense? Anyways. Are you a lesbian? Yes. Yes, I am. They hate to see me coming. How did you find your art style? I'm an aspiring artist and mine has changed every couple of days. I can't seem to find anything that fits. Just keep experimenting and then pick some... You know what? Here's what I did. I picked something and then I just evolved it as time went on. I slowly started adding things that just made sense. And that's how I did it. How many submissions? There's 143. And we are on 45. So we've got like 100 left. When's your next album coming out? Let me get through the first one. I don't know. I've been working on this one for 4 years. More than that. I've been working on this one for like 6 years. Jimmy, have you ever heard of a butch lesbian? Jimmy in the Twitch chat. Have you ever heard of a butch lesbian? This is important. This is really important. Anyways, I have no clue when my next album is coming out. Not a clue. No, Jimmy, I want you to go to Google. And I want you to Google butch lesbian history. And come back. And come back to me. How did you choose to go with green and orange for your your colors? Green is my favorite color, and orange is my younger brother's favorite color. And I thought that they complement each other nicely. So that's why. That's why those colors. No, Jimmy, do not chat GPT. We don't like chat. Salem, get out of here with chat GPT. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Do not go asking chat GPT about queer history. Are you the guy I saw on YouTube? Oh, let's go. I hate chat GPT. What kind of movies do you like? I'm a big fan of animated films. I also like older films. I'm a big fan of, like, any movie from, like, the early 2000s or the late 90s. I collect a lot of physical media, so I end up with a lot of DVDs from, like, people's, like, forgotten DVD collections. And that's, like, what I spend a lot of my time watching. I could tell you probably, like, my top 3 movies at the moment. My number 1 will always be Girl Interrupted. Girl Interrupted will always be my number 1. Interstellar is also up there. And then Ponyo. Those are probably my top 3 movies. Next caller. So wait, are you a girl or a boy? You're wrong. Neither. You got it wrong twice, Jimmy. Jimmy, you're not getting... Have you ever heard of non-binary, Jimmy? Jimmy, I'm really trying to work with you here. Are you familiar with the term non-binary, Jimmy? This is really important. The guy I saw on YouTube? Yeah, I am the guy you saw on YouTube. Probably. I'm gonna assume, yeah. I am. Yes, Jimmy, I am also non-binary. Next call. Wait, did I answer this one? How'd you find out you were trans? Oh, I didn't? I didn't find out? Neither? In a Boston accent? I'm from New York. I'm getting called out by my favorite YouTuber. Jimmy, I'm sorry. I'm really trying here. You're making this really difficult. Okay, I'm gonna paint the picture for you. I am not man. I know man. I also know woman. But I like women. Big fan of women. I don't like men. Love women. Not men. No men. Are you a demi-boy then? I don't like to use micro-labels to label my sexuality or my identity because it stresses me out. So I just say that I'm non-binary. Non-binary and trans mask. Caveman voice helps. Trust, yes. I didn't find out I was trans. I just kind of always knew. Why did you drop out of high school at 16? So I was in special education classes. This was not because I needed the support. This was because I was getting bullied so bad that they did not know what to do with me. So they opted to put me into special education classes to stop the bullying because it was a smaller set of kids. So I was not able to take any music or art classes to get the credits I would need to get into a good college for what I wanted to go to school for. So I just dropped out. And I chose not to go anymore. Have you ever played Celeste? I have not. But yeah, that's why I dropped out at 16. It was because there was nothing else I could gain from school. Getting a degree or diploma was not going to get me where I wanted to go in life. And I realized very quickly that most artists and musicians are not getting jobs and becoming successful by going to school for it. And going independent is just as good of an option. Sorry if that didn't make sense. I think that there are some circumstances in which it makes more sense for people to drop out of high school and to pursue their career path independently without a degree. I think there are cases in which a GED can get you the same thing that a diploma would. But I would not advise anybody to drop out of school without seriously considering it. Because school is important, and it does open a lot of doors. You really just have to evaluate what you want to spend the rest of your life doing. I said that I wanted to spend the rest of my life creating. And the easiest way for me to do that, with where I was at 16, was to just drop out and to pursue it independently. Because it was not like a diploma was going to open any doors for me, because I was a special ed kid. But yeah. Anyways, next caller. Sorry. Anyways, guys. Any tips on coming out as trans? Like I said before, I would just make it fun. This is going to be a lot of me answering the same, like, 5 questions, I fear. But yeah, no, my advice for coming out is to just make it fun, to make it less scary. Pick a group of people that you know will support you no matter what. Come out to them first, and then knowing that you're out to somebody important in your life will help you come out to the rest of them. What's your sexuality? I answered this already. My current labels that I use are trans, masc, non-binary, and lesbian. Next caller. What inspired you to be a YouTuber? My therapist gave me... Actually, no, my therapist inspired me to do TikTok and Twitch. And I picked up YouTube from that. YouTube was kind of just, I wanted, when I was younger, I always watched a lot of, like, animation YouTubers, and always wanted to do something like that. So I think it was, like, earlier this, no, it was sometime, like, last year. Towards the end of last year, I decided that I wanted to really take YouTube seriously, and push to make, like, longer form content and increase my shorts output on YouTube. And really give YouTube a real solid chance. Because in the almost 5 years I've been making content, I never really gave YouTube a solid chance. Therapist sounds like a fun person. I am no longer with the same therapist, but she was very cool. Next caller. How are you inspired to start animating? If you guys aren't new here, if you've been here a while, you know that I started out making, like, Minecraft TikTok content. I started feeling like it was too repetitive and too boring and mindless and didn't have any substance or, like, value anymore. And at this point, I had not, like, drawn any, like, almost anything in like, at least 5 years. And one day I got an Apple Pencil for my iPad, and I got Procreate, and I just started drawing, and I was like, I could tell my trans story time videos in this format instead of Minecraft parkour, and that's how I started animating. Yeah, next caller. Is there a bot? That's Fosabot. Yeah, that's Fosabot. Do you like sharks? I do like sharks, and my girlfriend wants to get me the IKEA shark at some point. We've been planning a trip to go to IKEA and get that damn shark. So eventually. Lego Builds 2? I love Lego. Big fan of Lego. This one was lunar, I'm calling it. That's crazy. Hi, Belle. Everybody say hi to my girlfriend in the chat. Oh, this is really funny timing. So, the story is actually quite funny. So, Belle and I grew up in the same town and went to the same school and had the same friend, but we had never met each other. We were absolutely in the same house at the same time, at the same events at the same time, but we had never spoken. And this was like 10 years ago now at this point. We never spoke to each other. We did not know each other, but we had the same friends, grew up in the same town, went to the same school. And then we met like years later, like earlier, like no, like almost a year ago, in the summer, we had finally met. I'm not gonna go into any more details about how we met, but that's the little love story that you guys will get. It's that whole like red string theory. Like we were always like just only like so far apart until like a year ago. That's some romance movie shit. Yeah, it really is. Alrighty. Next caller. FNAF, yes. Where do you go to ask questions? You can go to the Twitch chat or my Discord. Those are the two places you can go. And the form is in both of them. Or my YouTube. You can even go to my YouTube. But yeah, FNAF, yes. FNAF, yes. Who's your favorite rapper? I'm going to say Tyler Joseph from 21 Pilots. Guys, I listened to a whole lot of folk music and a whole lot of classical and jazz. The amount of rap music that I do listen to is very small. There's not a very big pool. I like Tyler, the Creator. I have heard a couple of Tyler, the Creator songs, and I can say they are good. At this point, we're an hour into stream. If I take an intermission, I'll go in mod Trek. I'm really sorry. I meant to before stream, but I got distracted. Next caller. Have you ever ate a Lego? No. No, I have not. Ah! Anyways. How should I come out to my parents? If your parents are supportive, and you know that they're going to be, like, if you know that you're going to be safe by coming out, I would say just make it fun. If coming out is unsafe for you, I would advise you not to. For your safety. But that is my tips and tricks. Bye, Belle. Would you press the button? You get $20 billion, but you have to spend 1 year in solitary confinement. I did a week in solitary, when I was younger. I don't know if I'd do it again. But 20 billion is a lot of money. But I don't know if anybody could drag me back to solitary if they tried. What is solitary confinement? Oh, it's when they put you in a room with nothing for an extended period of time. And that would be what solitary confinement is. How did you come out to your parents? How did they react? My guidance counselor outed me. So I never got to do the honors. And I was raised in a very, very Catholic family, so the reactions weren't the best. They weren't bad, but they weren't the best. Alrighty. Night, Gertrude. I feel like you were saying something about that in your songs. Yeah. I mean, that's what Devil Spawn really is about. It's a... Obviously, like, my family didn't stop loving me, but you know, it's one of those things where, like, the way that I was treated was now different. I started to be treated like somebody who was, like, sick and somebody who was damaged, rather than, like, you know, like a member of the family. And in Devil Spawn, when I'm talking about all the metaphors in Devil Spawn are for the Catholic Church, I'm going to be so real. My family did not want to allow me to transition at first because they were scared about how the world would view me and about how the church would view me. They were scared that me being trans wouldn't mean I would go to heaven. So instead of allowing me to transition, they sent me to psych wards to get mental health treatment, because they thought the problem was my depression and anxiety and other issues, and not the fact that I felt like a stranger in my body. So I'm trying to figure out how to word this. And then when they realized that it wasn't really that, you know, like 7 hospitalizations later, probably about 5 months in psychiatric inpatient care, they realized, oh, nothing's actually changing, and it keeps getting worse. And then I was able to start testosterone. And my family started to get a little bit more accepting, realizing that it was kind of like a life or death situation. So yeah, Devil Spawn really is just about me feeling like I had to choose whether or not I wanted to be loved by my family and by the church, or if I wanted to love myself. And that's kind of the story behind the song. So yeah, if there's any parents in chat who have trans kids, and you are debating sending your kid to a psychiatric center, instead of just offering gender-affirming care, it's a bad idea. Very bad idea. Don't do that. Most of those places are really, really dangerous and not safe. Yeah, if anybody would like to clip this and show their parents, they're more than welcome to. Those types of facilities are incredibly dangerous, and a lot of very bad things happen there if you are not careful. I would never ever recommend that, if you can avoid it, sending a child to a psych center. I think that it does something to your brain chemistry. I cannot explain it, but when I had left when I was a kid, it completely changed the way that my brain operated and the way that I viewed the world. Pediatric psych wards are where kids go to lose their innocence. That's very harsh sounding, but that is the truth in a lot of the cases. I'm sure there are very good facilities, and if you cherry picked some out, you could find some that are genuinely helpful. But unfortunately, most of them are very dangerous and have inexperienced people working there. It's a thing to feel better in your own skin and not a choice. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, I did not choose to be trans. I just was. And I was willing to fight for my expression. But yeah. Yeah, no, that's what Devil Spawn's about. And Troubled Teen, basically is kind of like a sister song for Devil Spawn, as in it was kind of the aftermath of Devil Spawn, if that makes sense. Those songs are kind of like relatives, almost. Anyways, next caller. Chapstick was yummy. I'm glad. I'm real glad. No, I don't, but I'm getting one. I'm getting one. Okay. Do you like Hazbin Hotel? No. No, I do not. I actually really hate Hazbin Hotel. I actually really can't stand Hazbin Hotel. I think... I will say, my opinions of Hazbin Hotel are very specific because my issues with the show are more from an animation and production standpoint and less from a storytelling standpoint. I think they did okay with the story. I don't understand why it's a musical. I feel like it was a show that wasn't supposed to be a musical, and then somebody in the writer's room was like, well, what if we just made it a musical? And the animation just feels really, really rushed. And I know kind of the behind the scenes. I saw some of the stuff behind the scenes for the production where there was some issue with the animators not being paid, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So that makes sense why it felt rushed. The backgrounds and I don't know. It just feels very busy all of the time. I feel like every scene I've seen from Hazbin Hotel, every clip I've seen is... Yeah, I'm pacing in Minecraft. I'm waiting for the rain to stop because I don't want to get killed by a monster. But I feel like every clip I've seen of Hazbin Hotel, just it's too busy. There's too much happening on the screen. I can't focus on anything. From a storytelling standpoint, though, I don't really have as many issues with it. The issues that I have really are, it just feels very rushed. And the animation stresses me out. I don't know why Angel Dust has so many limbs. I feel like if I was an animator for Hazbin Hotel, I would have a mental breakdown trying to animate Angel Dust. That would be it for me. I'm sure that's got to be like a corporate punishment. Oh, you did this wrong. Now you have to animate Angel Dust. This is your punishment. He is meant to be a spider. That does not come across. I'm gonna be so honest. That is the first time I've heard that. That is the first time I've heard anybody say that. I had no clue. Because that does not translate over at all. He's really meant to be a spider? Can I ask you, the builder, miner, adventurer, farmer, all of the above? He does look very difficult to animate. I would have a stroke. I would genuinely have a stroke. I'd quit. I would quit. Sadly, he's supposed to be a spider. I just don't see where the spider is. Where is the spider there? All the people are based on what they were in life. Angel Dust is a spider representing the web of crime. That does not translate over at all. If you didn't tell me that, I would not pick that up. I don't know. I feel like every Hazbin Hotel character that I hear about feels like somebody's like deviant art OC. Like, I feel like when I'm reading something about Hazbin Hotel, I feel like I'm on Wattpad again. I also don't really understand why people think it's a children's show. Based on the clips that I have seen, I don't know why it seems to be marketed like it's for teenagers. I feel like it's definitely not a show for kids. But I feel like the marketing for Has-Been Hotel is very geared towards, like, young teenagers. And I don't like that. And the humor is very geared towards young teenagers, from what I've seen. It's a lot of, like, oh, I'm gonna say a bad word humor. I don't know. Yeah, so no, I don't like Has-Been Hotel, but I don't care if other people do. I don't care if other people like Has-Been Hotel. I think that if something brings you joy and it's not hurting anybody, then go right ahead. If watching Has-Been Hotel and listening to a bunch of animated characters say bad words makes you feel better, then watch Has-Been Hotel. It's not that deep. It doesn't really matter all that much. Anyways. Chat, would you like to turn on 2FA for Discord? Yeah, guys, we're having some issues in the Discord where your account might be at risk if you don't have 2FA on. Discord as a whole is having this problem. Please turn on 2FA on Discord. Please enable 2FA. It's really dangerous. Anyways, next caller. Two-factor authentication is what that is. Two-factor authentication. Sorry? How well do you sleep at night knowing you were the villain back then? Who says I'm not still the villain? Who says I'm not still the villain? What does this mean? What the fuck does this question mean? Guys, am I the villain? Guys, am I the villain? My Twitch username is the same as my, everything. Travel with 3 A's. Guys, I feel like I'm in Arkham City. This is somebody's like core memory. This is somebody's like canon event. That's crazy. What does that mean? Dude, you're such a villain, like Spider-Man. Every villain is lemons. What does that mean? However, you're super evil, and we're super evil henchmen, obviously. Dude, if I was a villain, I'd be like Doofenshmirtz. I'd be like President Business in the Lego movie if I was a villain. Let's be so real. Of all the villains, you choose Doofenshmirtz. Guys, they call me the hash-slinging slasher. Is it gonna stop raining? Guys, I'm Radio Rebel. If this was your submission, can I please know what this means? If the person who submitted this is in chat, can I please know what this means? I'm actually so curious. Anyways, next caller. Has anybody ever 1,000-yard stared you? Yeah. Admin in the Gravel channel, Epic Gamers, has given me the 1,000-yard stare before. Uh-oh, it's nighttime. Gravel and his villain arc. Guys, this is lore. Guys, this is lore. I heard my name? Yeah, you've given me the 1,000-yard stare. Guys, this is my villain arc. This is lore. Nobody's gonna mess with me ever again! Anyways, next caller. Where does your name come from? I don't really know. I just really like the gravel block. Big fan of the gravel block. I don't really know where my name came from. I think I really just thought it up. I don't know how to answer this one. I'm gonna be so honest, I do not know how to answer this one. Next question. Favorite Undertale / Deltarune character? I've never played Deltarune. It's been forever since I've played Undertale. I'm gonna say Papyrus, I think. Big fan of Papyrus, maybe. Anyways, next caller. What got you into drawing? I've been drawing since I was like 7 years old. I've just been doodling. I don't know what really got me into it. I think, you know, that when they gave me crayons, man, I just started going to town. I started going ham. Anyways. Next caller. You ever plan on putting covers on Spotify? I don't know how I would go about that. I have some covers that I've done that I could put on Spotify. I just don't know how the copyright works with that. I don't know if I'd have to buy rights to the song or if I would just have to give a cut of the profits. I don't know how that works. I'd like to. I just need to have enough time in my day to do that. Anyways, next caller. If you could have any Pokemon, which would you have? Give me Mr. Mime, dude. Listen, I'm disabled and I need I need assistance. Mr. Mime would be great, a great caretaker. Give me Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime would help me stand up. Would help me get out of the car. But no, I really I couldn't. I couldn't have Mr. Mime do that. Because my girlfriend does very much like opening the door and helping me get out of the car, and I can't take that from her. I haven't seen you in years. I just came back to streaming for the first time in like almost a year. Not almost a year, maybe like 6 months. Anyways, have you heard of Undertale? And if you know about it, what's your favorite character? I answered this question already. Papyrus. Love that weirdo. October was the subathon. Okay, so like more like 6 months ago. Guys, I have time blindness. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, like six-ish months ago. Are you gonna start streaming on a more regular schedule? Have I not been doing that all week? I feel like I've been doing that. I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to be better with schedules, guys. I'm really bad at sticking to schedules. But I'm trying. I'm trying to like actually schedule streams. If you do want to know my stream schedules, I put them in my Discord server, and I put them on YouTube, and I put them on Twitter. That's where you can find them. That's where they go. But yeah. I don't know why I keep breaking the beetroot like it's grown, when it's very clearly not. Anyways. You give off Stacy's mom vibes, is what you should say to your wife. It's a very big compliment. I'm not sure if it is. I don't understand what the compliment is. Do not say 6-7 in my chat. Scoober, do you want to get demodded? Scoober's already off to a rough start as a new mod. I have no clue what this is. What is this? I don't know what that is. When do you think the album is going to come out? June. The album's coming out in June. I keep breaking crops too early. I need to stop. I gotta stop. I'm gonna expand my farm, I think. I don't have a wife yet. But yeah, no, the album's gonna come out in June. I don't have a set release date yet, but it will be released in June. I'm almost halfway through production. Anyways, next caller. Favorite Spider-Man actor and why? Tom Holland, because it was the first one I saw in theaters. So that's my vote. I'm gonna put some water here. Tom Holland, good answer. Parker, was this your question? Parker, be honest, was this you? Of course. Okay, got it. Why was my confession not read last stream? Because there was over 300 of them. Because there was over 300 of them and I could not get through all of them. How are you? I am doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Little overwhelmed. But that's okay. It's okay to be a little overwhelmed. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. There are 180 questions right now. Yeah. Which one are we on, though? Hold on. We are on 81. So we're making it through. We're getting there. Change into the 2008 stream soon. It was really fun. I'd love to play with y'all again. I am going to be holding off on the Roblox streams for at least a little bit because I'm not really sure what is going on with Roblox. But I want to look for a new playing with chat game. I just have to figure out what that's going to be. But if you guys have suggestions for, like, games with chat, you can join the Discord server, and there is a channel where you can put game suggestions for me to play on stream. Name 10 genders. No. Is mayonnaise an instrument? If you try... Not by default. Not by default, but it's kind of like... Mayonnaise is kind of like transgender. But for instruments. Like indie animations? I do. What happened to Katie? Katie's? Are we talking about Katie's? Katie's is doing good. From what I know. I just don't think she makes content anymore. But she's doing good from what I know. She is okay. She is alive. There are signs of life from Katie's. Don't worry. Do you like Obama? I was too young during the Obama presidency to have an opinion. But he seems like one of the better ones. But with that said, the bar is really low. I don't generally like any politicians. But Obama's up there for the better ones. How did you discover Crazy Frog? I was in kindergarten, I think. I was in elementary school. And I had it on an iPod that was passed down to me. What's your favorite Pokemon, Mr. Mime or Trubbish? It's a tie. I can't just pick one. They're both my favorite. What's your favorite Panic at the Disco song or album? House of Memories. Baby, we built this house. Great song. I don't really fuck with Panic at the Disco anymore, but I used to. I went to the Death of a Bachelor tour when I was a kid. Green is my favorite color. Orange is my younger brother's favorite color. If you've had top surgery, did you prepare for it? And would you recommend it? Also, what was your recovery time? Plus, what was the worst thing about recovering? I have had top surgery. I got double incision about 4 years ago. My recovery... So, full recovery, I believe, is a year. But recovery to where, like, you're able to do most things again is, like, I think a month, maybe 2. Maybe a month or 2. Can we get a YouTube mod check? Worst thing about recovering. One of my drains actually, like, fell out of my body. And that was really scary. That was horrifying, actually. You have to be very, very prepared for things to have complications when getting any surgery like that. I'm okay. I'm fine. My scar's a little wonky on that side, but I was fine. So, Smoosh, we're not going to repeat the messages that were deleted, actually. Anyways. First one. Big fan of the first one. 3. Just started testosterone and I want to start working out. Do you have any tips? If not, have a nice day. I've never really been one to work out. I do a lot of walking. But that's mostly to, like, kind of, like, keep the muscle I do have because I have mobility issues. A lot of exercise I cannot do because I'm disabled. The only exercise that I'm able to do right now is I go for figure skating lessons every week. And even that's a little tricky for me. But yeah, I mean, I know that you can, like, find personalized plans probably for free online. I'm sure there's apps for it. That is my recommendation. What or who helped slash supported your transition? It's very scary for a young like myself to come out to some family. My family wasn't supportive at first, but they came around, and once they realized that it was, you know, like, life-saving care, they helped me transition. And definitely support groups. Join support groups. Kane or Jax? I'm gonna say Jax just because I feel like my girlfriend would kill me if I said any other character. I think she likes both of them. I don't really have strong opinions on either of them, so I'm just gonna go with the one I know that my girlfriend likes and say Jax. Jax also has the cooler design, in my opinion. What type of microwave do you have? I have no clue. I have no clue. Is life roadblocks? There has been a lot of construction in my area. There have been quite a bit of roadblocks. So I would say it's hard to get through life without seeing a roadblock. So yeah, probably. Do you like cats? Yes, I do. I have 2 of them. They're very cool. They are quite cool cats. I have my cat Birch and my cat Forest. Birch looks like one of the Porg. from Star Wars a little bit. And Forrest just kind of looks like a cartoon character. Why is there a problem? Hold on. I gotta fix it. I don't know why this keeps happening. I think we might just actually just be deleting that many confessions that it's like tripping out. Okay. What clothes should I wear as a male who's trying to appear more feminine? I would not know where to start to give you that advice. I would start by going to your local thrift stores and just finding things that you like, and then looking up YouTube tutorials on how to style things. That would be my advice. Can you play Bloxy Bingo with me, C, and E? Who is you? Who are you? And who is C and E? Anyway, whose submission is this? Who is this? Anybody? Any takers? Who? We've turned off responses, apparently. Hold on, I gotta fix the thing. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I'm assuming we had to turn off the form because of people being mean again. Are binders from Spencer's safe? I could not tell you. Probably not. Check Discord. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Great heavens. Yeah, guys, somebody had to ruin it for everybody. So we're gonna try to get through the rest of these this stream. But yeah, we're gonna power through these. I'm not sure about Spencer's binders. Is there anybody in chat that has used the Spencer's binder that can confirm or deny whether or not they are good and safe? Anyways, next caller. Hi, I'm trans masculine closet because of a strict Christian parent. How should I break it to them? Also, where should I get binders? I used to wear GC2B, but I've heard that that is unsafe. So I'm not sure. I've heard Spectrum binders are good. I've heard Spectrum binders are good. Someone in TikTok chat says the Spencer's ones are pretty good. Okay. So I'd say that. I would be careful coming out to your Christian parents because you want to make sure that you're safe among everything. Before everything, you want to make sure that you are safe. That is the #1 priority. I want to find the Pale Oak. That might be an extreme task for me to find the Pale Oak because I want to make my house out of it. But yeah, next caller. Can I get unbanned from the Discord? It's been like a year. Submit a ban appeal request. Submit an unban request. People go through them. But yeah, next caller. No, I don't like boys. Love women. Love women. Femboys, you do you though. I'm not trying to stop you. You live your life. Live, laugh, love. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm chilling. Do you know all the crimes attempted in space have been done by lesbians? Is this true? Is this true? That's crazy if that's true. When are mod app responses going to fully go out by? We have sent out all of the invites to the staff team. If you did not receive a message within the past like 24 hours, you probably have not been accepted to the team. But they will open again. They will open again. What does this mean? So I need somebody smart in the chat. What does this mean? I don't know what this means. Next caller. I just went with the name Gravel. It's my favorite Minecraft block. Wall Street lingo, I see. I don't make enough money to care. You think the sleeve of your Minecraft skin looks like a dinosaur? Does it? I don't see where. Next caller. You like anime, and if so, what's your favorite? Your Lie in April, which I still need to rewatch this month before it's no longer April. But yeah, Your Lie in April is my favorite. I don't know what any of these things are. I could not tell you what any of this means. You are the guy. I am the guy. Given it's so good. Okay. Yeah, Carl's, I have no clue what any of that is. Potentially. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. Can you say, I'm going to jail. Put me behind bars. You're trans mask and I'm trans femme. I also grew up trans, so I've been wondering, was school stuff difficult for you growing up, or was it not so bad? School stuff was extremely difficult for me. I wasn't allowed in any of the bathrooms, and I wasn't allowed to change in the locker room. They made me change in a storage supply, like a supply, like storage, like closet thing. And then I got bullied so bad that they put me in special education to get me away from the other children. So, not the best. Can you do my Texas Gov assignment for me? No. I'm the wrong person to be asking. I did not graduate high school. Thank you, Joey, for clarifying that you are not transphobic. So real and based of you, Joey. What does trans mask and trans femme mean? Trans mask is for people who were assigned female at birth that identify as trans, and trans femme is for people who were assigned male at birth who identify as trans. Can everybody say thank you, Ally Joey? Thank you, Ally Joey. We're gonna thank you, Ally Joey, in the chat. Are you okay? This is the second time I think I've seen this question. I'm hanging in there. I'm doing all right. I hear pillagers, and that freaks me out. I am hanging in there. Oh, hell no. I'm just gonna wait for them to go away. Is this pre-recorded? Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, this whole stream, this whole time has been a pre-recorded bit. Yeah, I asked you guys 2 days ago for submissions. And I've just been, you know, recording it so that I could stream it. But yeah, no, thank you for catching on to that. That's a really crazy Easter egg that you found. I'm kidding, guys. This is real. I'm here. I'm here. Is this thing on? Hello? 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 Anyways, this is a bit random, but I'm quite anxious for my first therapy session. Anything you can tell me, please? Go into it with the mindset that you are not stuck with this therapist. If you want a new therapist, you can ask for one. Go into it with the mindset that you do not have to like this person. Like, you don't have to force yourself to like your therapist. If you do not mesh with your therapist, it is completely okay to switch therapists. People do it all the time. The therapist won't take it personally. That's what they're there for. They're there to make sure that you have the best mental health experience. When does questions open up? That's a question for the mods. I'm not sure. Unless it's a private practice? No, I'm fairly certain depending on the practice you can do. I'm fairly certain you can just ask for a different one. I can't see why a private practice would tell you no. I would be shocked if a private therapy office was like, actually, we can't give you a different one. Oh, I mean, like a self-named practice. Yeah, I mean, if there's only one therapist there, then yeah. But also, you can just, like, leave and find a different one. You're not stuck there. You can go and you can find a new one. You subscribe me to comment on his friends? Oh, let's go. This is awesome, Lucas. This is crazy. This is great news. My God, it's you. It's me. How many people we got in the TikTok stream right now, out of curiosity? How did you figure out that you were trans, and how did you come out? I always knew I was trans, and my guidance counselor outed me. 71, wow. If you guys are watching on TikTok, and you would like to submit questions if and when the form opens back up, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch. The stream's a lot better quality. But yeah, we're gonna be here for a bit. We've got like 70 something not applications. We got 70 something questions to go through. Can I steal your sunglasses? I don't really ever wear sunglasses. Have you ever played Cookie Run Kingdom? I have not. I have not played Cookie Run Kingdom. Anya, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome, welcome. Some random letters. No, thank you. Thank you for this. I really needed that hard reset. Really, really needed that hard reset. Thank you so much. Did you eat flowers / grass / nature as a child? Yeah, I did. I used to make dandelion salad at the playground. Can I ask you one? We have a form. I'm not sure if the mods are going to be opening it back up again, but if they do, that's going to be on YouTube or Twitch, and maybe in the Discord. If you wanted to join the Discord, you can get it there as well. All right. Next caller. You said that you were inspired by the Amazing Digital Circus for the viewer SMP, so does that mean you're gonna die like Kane? I don't know. Maybe. Potentially. You like jazz? I love jazz. I have like 100 jazz records. I collect physical media, and I have like 300 plus vinyl records. And like 100 of those are jazz records. Maxie, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Does your character ever stop smiling? No. Let me read this. As someone who is going to a new school next year, I'll be able to go by a different name, but like only at school. If my parents ask if I'm using a different name at school, as someone who is scared to come out to parents, do you have any suggestions? My friends know. My family doesn't. I might only tell my sister she's safe. If you are unsure if you're going to be safe, I would be careful. I would, if you know that your school is going to be really safe, and a safe place to do that, I would maybe talk to a guidance counselor and see what they're able to do. What does it feel like starting tea? Sweaty. Very sweaty. Just very, very sweaty and very, very tired. Very, very sweaty, angry, tired, and hungry. Here's so derpy, it's cute. Thank you, Luke. Yes, very moist. No, yeah, so I haven't been on testosterone for about like 2 or 3 years now. I stopped taking testosterone. I don't miss the sweat. Really don't miss the sweat. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. These freaks are back. I don't want them. I'm staying inside until they go away. But yeah. Top 3 favorite trans/femboy characters in game/anime. Why are we putting trans and fem... Why are we putting trans/femboy? Those are 2 very, very different things. If I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am. The 3 favorite trans characters. Games and anime. I don't really know a whole lot. If I'm gonna be so honest, I don't really know a whole lot. I'm gonna have to think on that one. Look at you. I'm like 8, 9 years in and I walk around looking like I jumped in a pool with clothes on. Dude, I know I had to stop taking testosterone because I just developed an allergy to it out of the blue. That was fun. Have you seen the 1954 Sherlock Holmes? No, I have not. No, I have not. This is not something I'm familiar with. Sorry, I'm fixing my microphone. Could we get a mod in the TikTok chat, perhaps? How was PAX? PAX was very fun. I'm currently working on a little short video with some of the footage that I got at PAX. It'll hopefully be up before the end of the month. But no, PAX was really fun. I had a lot of fun. The staff team had a lot of fun, I think. I hope so. I don't want to speak for them. But we all had a lot of fun. It was a very busy con. Very, very busy convention. And very hard to navigate. It was fun. Parker, you were not there. Parker, what are you on about? Parker, what do you want about, buddy? No, I like PAX. I definitely want to go back next year. Is it a problem that one of my friends ate Vaseline, like full containers of just pure Vaseline? Yeah, that doesn't sound normal. I would say that definitely does not sound normal. I think that might be a problem, yeah. No. How do you advise someone forgiving themselves for something that happened years ago? Ooh. I feel like this is another one of those things that's so vague that it's really difficult to answer that question in detail, if that makes sense. But I would say, I know that I personally have struggled with forgiving myself for things that I did when I was like a teenager or things that I did when I was mentally unstable. And I think in terms of like things you did when you were like younger, I personally, as an adult, I really do not hold teenagers to anything that they say at all. Teenagers are hormonal and angry and say things that they don't understand or don't mean. And I never ever hold a teenager to anything like problematic or like fucked up that they say, because at the end of the day, that is a child and children don't understand what they're talking about a good chunk of the time. And I have to remember that a lot of the things that I've struggled to forgive myself for are things that I did when I was like 17 or 18 years old. and that I was still trying to learn how the world worked. And I think for that specific incident, or not, it's an instance, you have to look at, like, I guess it's an individual thing. If this is something that you're talking about that you did as an adult, I think an important thing that comes to mind is, was this a mental health related issue, or was this just a mistake that happened that you regret? I think this is one of those questions a lot of factors play into how I respond to it. If you're comfortable answering, able to find another... No, I was not. I was allergic to all of it. But yeah, no, I think in my brain, I try to hold myself to the same standards I hold other people to, which is really hard because I'm extra critical of myself. But the standard that I hold other people to is, okay, was this person a child when this happened? And two, was this person in a state of mind where they were not aware of what they were doing? And if either of those answers are yes, then I try not to hold that person to what had happened, and I want them to learn and grow from it, you know? So I hold myself to that same standard. If it's something where I was a kid, or if I was not in a state of mind where I knew what was happening, then I just try to grow from it. And I think that if you are trying to do like a personal growth thing and forgive yourself for things that happened in your past, I think you need to look at it more from the lens of is how can I grow from this? Instead of how can I criticize myself for this thing that happened? Sorry, that was a long-winded response. But I wanted to make sure that I answered that one in depth because it was very vague. I followed you. Thank you, Fazbear Freaks 66 for the follow. That was incredible. But yeah, no, as somebody who's been in psychosis and did a lot of shit when I was in psychosis that I would not have done otherwise, that I definitely am still beating myself up over, I think that we need to be kinder to ourselves and judge ourselves with the same level of compassion that we judge others with. And that's the one thing that has definitely helped me heal, is judging myself from the lens of an outside perspective. But yeah. Anyways, next caller. Have you ever gotten the Parker Comics curse? What the fuck is that? So what is that? Hey, so what does that mean? Hey, so what is that, guys? What is the Parker Comics curse? You like Apple? I like Fiona Apple. Do you think you will ever do a live show? What does that mean? Like a live show what? Because isn't that what a live stream is? I feel like every stream is like an episode of a TV show. This is like my own personal like little podcast. Where I just yap you guys' ears off. I don't know why I'm going back this way. I need more wood. I gotta chop down more trees. They mean like a concert. Okay. Yes, I do. When my album drops, I do want to pick a couple of locations in like on the East Coast to play little tiny shows. Tickets would probably be like $10. I wouldn't want them to be like expensive. But I do plan on playing shows after my album releases. That is something that's going to take a little bit. East Coast. But yeah, if you guys are on the East Coast and you want to go to a gravel concert, that is something that is coming in the future. You have an album? Yes, I'm releasing an album in June. Okay, guys, I really have to pee. Can you guys promise that you're not going to go anywhere? Mods, would you want me to join VC for like 2 minutes while I go pee so you guys can entertain chat? You can say no. You can say no. But I'll wait for an answer. I have to urinate so bad. Well, I was just going to join you guys as VC. You know what? Yeah, I'll join that VC. I'll join the moderating VC. Hello, gamers.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm leaving you guys in charge. I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay.
All right.
You have fun.
Dude, this is like my first ever podcast. Oh my god.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi, chat. Hi, chat. Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Everyone's here. Everyone's here. Oh my god.
Hi, chat. How are we doing?
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Okay, chat, I must ask, because you guys keep airing me. What is the Parker Comsters? What is this Parker Comsters?
No one's gonna answer you, bro.
Please.
There are 10 people
We
in
are
this
good.
VC right
How
now.
are y'all?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Super. Do you like poop?
Oh, I
No,
love that.
Dylan.
No,
I don't.
No, thank
I
you,
don't.
Dylan. Bye, Dylan.
No, Dylan.
Hello.
Dylan,
Hi.
do you?
Oh, something outside in chat. Do we like J-pop? Yes, I
Yeah,
love
no.
J-pop.
I love
like
J-pop.
J-pop.
I love
No,
J-pop.
Dylan. I'm sure.
I
don't like poop.
Oh, I should mute the stream or else I'm just gonna hear all of us twice.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
I've muted
I-
Steve as
I
well,
love- I love Kate. Why? Because you're saying we like poop.
though.
I don't-
It's a little inappropriate. That's
Yeah, we gotta keep chat appropriate.
Uh huh. We got to do our jobs as mods. Unfortunately,
Oh, that's
We're
sparkling
here
water.
for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
I love
Welcome
J-Pop.
back.
Hey.
Guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for talking to them. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, soldiers, on the Google form. I don't know if you're planning on opening that thing up again.
We
Chat,
might,
have 07 in that for us.
we might reopen it.
7.
We might reopen it.
You might reopen it.
there was a-
Okay.
There was a bad person
50-50
who
chance right now.
we maybe sorted out. And was
Okay.
that person.
Well, good luck, soldiers. I'm out of here. See you later.
Thanks.
07.
See ya.
Alrighty. Alrighty, gamers. Back to Minecraft. Next question. How do you feel about grippy socks? I have probably about 7 pairs of grippy socks. Love them. Don't love where I got them, but love the socks. Great souvenir. Yeah, no, love the grippy socks. Hate where I got them from. Next caller. Hey, chat. Did you know we are crying love the mods? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys are troopers. We're gonna make it through. We're gonna make it through at least the current remainder of submissions. Do people say your sweater reminds them of Baku Deku? I don't know what the fuck that is, and I have a video script for this topic, so nobody explain it to me, because I want to find out in the TikTok comments. But I don't know what the fuck this means. Everybody keeps saying that. Why do you sound like? Don't say that to me. Rockin', don't watch yourself. Watch yourself, buddy. Okay? Wait, Parker, was it that bad already? Hold on, I'm checking mod chat real quick. Or the Google form chat. Hold on. Okay, guys, so it seems like somebody who really hates Democrats is botting the Google form. Which is really unfortunate. Some Republican with nothing better to do is spending their Sunday night botting a Google form for a transgender Minecraft streamer. I just want everybody to take that in. There is some loser with a Google form bot spending their Sunday night in the chat of a transgender Minecraft streamer because they hate trans people so much. That's what that's what they're spending their Sunday night doing. I want everybody to acknowledge how much of a loser this person is. That is so funny. That is actually so fucking funny. Anyways, next caller. Do you know what fundamental paper education is? No clue. I have no clue what this is. Neptune, that was the line? Neptune, what do you mean that was the line? Neptune, sorry? Anyways, I have no clue what this is. Not a clue what this is. No. I don't get the reference, but no. I do not support ICE. I do not support ICE. And if anybody in this stream right now supports ICE, you're gonna get banned. If anybody says anything in the chat about supporting ICE, you're getting banned. Because we don't want you here. Anyways, next caller. I'm non-binary and pansexual. I go by Rye. I lost my cat Friday. Her name was Sage. I miss her so much. Do you have any ideas how to help me not be sad? Make sure that you really, really do some self-care and take care of yourself. Also, thank you, Duckface, for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. But make sure that you really focus on self-care and, like, find some sort of, like, maybe, like, art piece that you can do as, like, a memorial for your cat. I think that could be really helpful to help you grieve. At least that's what I do when I'm grieving. I Gravel, your song makes me cry. My song makes me cry. Did you watch The Simpsons? No, I wasn't allowed. I was not allowed. It is a tragedy, but I was not allowed. Do you have any opinions on the fact that many people think Alexander Hamilton may have been bisexual? And a bisexual panic because of this guy named John Lawrence. I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. I have watched half of Hamilton. And I don't know jack shit about US history. My apologies. But I guess, I don't know. Go bisexuals, I guess. W bisexuals. You have anything else planned for the future than just doing YouTube streaming and music? I would eventually like to buy a house. I would also eventually like to be able to afford rent. That would be cool. Other than that, my plans are really just to release my album, start playing maybe a couple of shows, and keep making my silly little animation videos. I am disabled, and this is quite literally the only job that I'm capable of sustaining. So, I mean, I plan on working until I'm, like, at retirement age. At least in some sort of creative field. Those are all my plans for the future. But yeah. Ever taken any singing lessons? No. I've taken a handful of lessons to play instruments, but I've never taken singing lessons. How are you disabled? I have mental disabilities, and I have mast cell activation syndrome, and I am working towards getting a diagnosis for POTS. But I'm receiving treatment as if I do have a diagnosis for POTS because the diagnostic process is so expensive and intense, and there's a lot to do. We're gonna sit here for a minute. We're gonna sit here for a minute. I'm running home. Yeah, I have some sort of unknown circulatory issue that I am currently being treated for as if it were POTS. Because I'm responsive to all of the treatment. And my mast cell activation syndrome is essentially just histamine intolerance. Is how I explain it to people. I need to take antihistamines every day because my body gets confused when it processes histamine and thinks that I'm going into anaphylactic shock and then sends me into anaphylactic shock. What's your opinion on baby built cheese? I don't like it. Not a fan. Do you like Cave Town? Cave Town's pretty cool, I think. Do you know about the indie game called Nature's Myth? I do not. I do not. We're powering through these, not these confessions, these questions. Would you ever do an egg stream? What does this mean? What is an egg stream? What is that? You have a favorite food? The chicken sandwich from Wendy's. And those two are comorbid, so it makes sense to have both. Yeah. Yeah. That is unfortunately how it is. I'm also autistic. I've got the tism. Anyways. You watch Hermitcraft? I do not. Have you ever considered doing a collab with the YouTube channel called Nature's Myth Dev Team? I have no clue what that is, but if anybody would like to do collabs with me, they're more than welcome to use my business email and reach out. Would you ever do a face reveal? I am not faceless. My face is all over the internet. It's on my famous birthdays. It's on my Twitter. It's on my TikTok. It's on my Instagram. My face is even on my YouTube. My face is posted everywhere. Like, egg isn't a term for questioning people? Perhaps. Ada, the horse is here. Sorry, someone said that in TikTok chat, and that's like an activation phrase. Thank you for the, what is that, a little cat? You like Digital Circuits? It's pretty cool. I like it. I enjoyed it. And Twitch, yeah, and my face is on Twitch too. Anytime I'm dealing with the struggle of character AI addiction, I even modded it with an extension to supply it with my subscription of Claude to make it type better. I've been role-playing with Oxygen. Oh, okay. My girlfriend is actually probably the most equipped to answer this. So I'm going to see if she's free to call. Because she has a little bit of an interest in, not in character AI, but the addiction. So I'm going to call her and see if she picks up. Let's see. We're going to see if she answers. Because I don't feel super equipped to give advice on that. Hello, hi,
Hello.
you're on stream.
Hold on, wait. Hold up.
Holding.
Hold it.
Holding. Chat,
Hold
this
it,
is my
hold it,
girlfriend.
Hold it.
Holding, I'm holding!
Hold it.
I'm holding!
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
So
You
there's
got,
a
like,
question
5
that I think you are better suited to answer than I am. If you want to open stream, you can look, or I can read it to you.
Hold on, I can figure this out. Oh, it was this one. Oh boy, howdy. Oh, okay. Thank you. I actually wanted to talk about this one. You read my mind. How did you read my mind?
I don't know. I just did.
Okay. Did you read it out loud yet?
I didn't read all of it out loud. I just stopped and wanted to call you.
Okay. So, I know that the first gut instinct for this kind of question would be to like laugh and to be like, "Oh wow, that's cringe, whatever." But that's not what's important. What's important here is that someone is trying to do better. And when people are trying to do better, we have to help them to be better. So, to answer this question, I would say get on AO3. I don't know. Find things that real human beings wrote. Find other people that enjoy talking about it. Write headcanons, write continuations of the show. Do some kind of fan creation to get your idea out there. You know, you don't need AI to tell you what those characters would do. They're your favorite characters. You can think of it yourself. It's fun to have it handed to us, sure, but like it's more fun to make it yourself, you know? Does that make sense?
That is a great response. Do you have anything else you wanted to add to this one, or was that?
Proud of you. Thumbs up. Get better.
They said in chat,
I'm
but it's not
you.
the same thing.
It's not gonna ever be the same, you're right, but like it can be good. And maybe the difference between, let's say that like ChatGPT fan fiction is 100 out of 100, right? And doing it yourself is 75 out of 100. But that extra 25, maybe that good becomes, well, all the water in the world doesn't disappear one day. Like, sure, it's not as fun for us, but it's us having fun, and it makes things a little bit better for everybody else.
Sorry, I'm getting shot at by an evil skeleton.
Phenomenal.
But yeah,
Also,
I think that's a good
you
response.
can find, like Tumblr, there's a lot of places where fan stuff is.
I'll find like
find other
roleplay groups
people.
or something too.
I mean, be careful with those. But
Be careful with them, but like, like if it's that point where like you want to have like a conversation with a character, find like a group of friends like around your age that are interested in like doing like roleplay or like D&D and stuff like that.
D&D would be like an excellent, I think a really fun thing you can do is dissect the character and what you really like about the character. Let's say you're a really big fan of like amnesia tropes or something, right? And make your own character. And then you can play them in a D&D character game. You could play them in Baldur's Gate. You know, you can be them. And that's almost like doing ChatGPT, I guess.
I think that's a good answer. But yeah, no, I think my take is it's like I feel like character AI is like the newer generation's like amino roleplay experience. Like I feel like if like we had character AI when we were younger, like we probably would have fallen down that pipeline because it's easy, quick entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that people that want that are bad. We're human. Human beings want things to be easier for ourselves. Life is hard. But like, just because it's easier doesn't mean it's necessarily better.
I had to go a week without character AI and I barely did it. Try I'm telling you, try finding like roleplay groups.
I have to bolt. I would love to have a conversation about this another time, absolutely, but I was in the middle of doing something, so...
I'm so sorry.
Adios, chat. No, you're so good. Thank you. I wanted to start this one. Okay, go.
Alrighty,
Bye.
goodbye. Someone who's studying machine learning and artificial intelligence in uni. The practice of CAI generally so fucking predatory. It really targets people with mental health and guilt trips users when they try to delete their account saying blank character will miss you. Yeah, Parker's right. Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's really like it's the same like mental phenomenon that like people used to get from like role playing on Amino. It's just the act of like talking with a character or role playing as a character that I think is what gets people, you know? Anyways, I'm going to be moving to the next question. I wish you the best of luck. I'm already in a group, then utilize it. Or maybe even try to find some support groups as well. You like the movie Mean Girls? Yes, I do. Are your pronouns he, they? Yes, they are. From a scale of 1 to 10, how painful was the healing of my top surgery? It was pretty painful. It was not as painful as you would think, but it was still pretty painful. It was more like a numb pain. I'm gonna fight this skeleton. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I really have to kill the skeleton or it's not going to leave me alone. Oh my god. That had me stressing out, I won't lie. That had me stressing out. Alrighty. Anyways, next comment. Or next question. You can skip this question if you'd like, but would you date a trans female? Trans females are still female. If I was not currently in a relationship and was not on the arrow A spectrum, and actively looking for somebody to date, I would not be opposed to dating trans women, no. I think that people who wouldn't are a little silly. I think it's a little silly. I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with not wanting to date trans people, but if you're dating trans people solely because they are trans, that's a little odd. Especially if it's a queer person. Am I gay? I don't know who you are, but if you're here, probably. Is this pre-recorded? Yeah. No, the whole thing's pre-recorded. Grav, this isn't asked much. How's your day? I've had a good day. I've had a good day. I woke up, and I went to run some errands with my girlfriend, and then we went to the gym. So that was nice. I've had a good day. I hope you guys have also had very good days. Rose AI and pre-recorded. Stop. Bill, no, I am not. What's your favorite style or style you find cool? What kind of style? We talk about like art style or like clothing? I do not know how to answer this one. I don't know how to answer that. I think clothing-wise, I wear a lot of dress pants and t-shirts. What's your favorite dinosaur? A Stegosaurus. Big fan of a Stegosaurus. We're almost through all of them, guys. Hi, so I'm like a really new viewer, and my best friend came out to me as a trans man. I just want to know what's the best way to support him. Any gift ideas? Go thrifting together. That's always a fun thing. And I feel like after coming out as trans, people want new clothes. But honestly, just like using the correct name and pronouns and just being chill about it and normal is the best way that you can support. But for gift ideas, ooh, gift ideas are difficult. Maybe like a nice hat or like a hoodie, an oversized hoodie, Yeah. Every trans man's token item in their closet is an oversized hoodie. I have no clue what this means. I don't know what this is or what it means. What is Flop Tropica? I'm in the stream right now and I was wondering, how does being transmasc but also lesbian work? Aren't those two contradicting? Not trying to be mean, just curious. I have a video coming out about this probably tomorrow. If you want to wait until tomorrow, I have a video about this coming out. But to summarize it briefly, transmasc does not equal man. Transmascs have different experience than cis man. Transmascs still non-men. Lesbian mean non-man and non-man. To put it in simple terms. But I have a video coming out tomorrow that is explaining that very in depth. If you are interested. Possibly tomorrow. I'm aiming for tomorrow. It'll be either tomorrow or it'll be Tuesday. I think it really depends here as to how you went about this situation. If this was me, I would have removed this person. I think this depends on a couple of factors. This depends on how old you are. And this depends on what your, like, how long you've known this person. But I'm assuming since you didn't know how old they were, not very long. If I were in this situation, this would be an I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable, and remove. But yeah, like I said, this depends on how old you are. It depends on how comfortable you are with that as well. But yeah, I don't think it's unforgivable. It's not great. Depending on how old you are. I think if you are, like, in your 20s and you are hanging out with 14-year-olds, that's a little weird. Maybe we shouldn't do that. That's a little odd. I don't know. That's a little bizarre. I won't lie to you on that one. I think if you're in your 20s and 30s and you're hanging out with teenagers, there's a problem there. And teenagers is in, like, I think if you're hanging out with, like, 14, 15, 16-year-olds are, like... Yeah, I think that's weird. I think if you're hanging out with anybody under the age of 18 in your 20s and 30s, that's a little bizarre. Not irredeemable, but that would not be me. Do you know the Muffin Man? No. Not personally. I don't know what this means. Anybody know what this means? Not sure what this means. Nope. Nope. If two people were non-binary and liked each other, would it be gay or straight? It depends on how those people identify themselves. Different people identify themselves differently, and I think that it is depending on who the people in this relationship are and how they want their relationship to be perceived. Next caller. My account got hacked today. I am so sorry. A lot of people's accounts are getting hacked. Make sure you turn on 2FA, guys. Turn on 2FA. How do you make your character animate when you talk? So, I have something called VetoTube. And with VetoTube, it detects input from my microphone. And when it hears me talking, it changes the GIF to a different one. Who are you and why did you show up on my homepage feed? My name is Gravel. I am an autistic, queer, and trans creator. I make a lot of animation videos on YouTube and TikTok, and I just started streaming again. It's been a while since I've streamed, but I'm back. I'm back and in business. But yeah, next caller. We're almost through them all, guys. We've almost made it. Comfort food that you eat but think others... Comfort food that you eat, but others think that's absolutely horrendous. I eat a lot of seaweed. Like, just like straight up seaweed. I have a lot of that. I'm very bland with the food that I eat because I don't have a lot of ability to eat a lot of things. The things that I can eat are very limited. I have a lot of food restrictions. So most of the things that I eat regularly are pretty standard. The only one that's a little odd is the seaweed. But even then, that's like still fairly normal. So that's still fairly normal. I eat like a chicken sandwich every day. That's my go-to food every day. What's your favorite anime? Your Lie in April. This is like the third time I've gotten this question. My first stream of yours was Maple Hospital, and I think it was a deadly disease like coronavirus. How do you roleplay improve? You would love Grey's Anatomy. You should watch Grey's Anatomy. Take inspo. I hate pink tax. Real and based. Real and based, we hate pink tax. It's me, Gertrude. I recently became a man. And have been going by Jasper. Should I be Grandpa Jasper or stick to my OG name since it's a meme? It's whatever you're comfortable with, really. I think that's a preference. It's whatever makes you the most comfortable. I feel like that's one that's a very up to you question. Anyways, I should have not put my senior quote as I'm trans because my parents are very transphobic and homophobic. Oh, should I have not? Should I have not? Probably not. That's probably not safe. I wouldn't do that. When I came out to my dad as gender fluid, he said, please just stay a girl. You know what? He tried. He put his all into that. That's really funny, actually. He's trying, I bet. He said, I'm sure he said it so polite. That's quite funny. I have no clue what this is. No, I have not. What is pink tax? It's when they charge more for products made for women and for either women, or they'll even do this with like sanitary products as well. It's pink tax. One more. The last Q&A submission. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, guys. I'm confused. Guys, who do you think I am? I make silly little animation videos. You want me to do Minecraft PvP? I'd get my ass handed to me on a plate. Doing Minecraft PvP. My best game in MCC was Sands of Time. Yo, we got Grandpa Jasper in the chat. Let's go. Yeah, Sands of Time was my best game in MCC, guys. And I was the Sand Keeper, so it's not like I was, like, going and fighting anything. Yeah, sorry that we couldn't reopen them. I would have loved to stay live for another half hour, hit the 3-hour mark, but unfortunately, the form got botted. But if you want, we'll turn off the form for now, and if you want, we can just yap for, like, 30 minutes, and you guys can just ask me questions while I play Minecraft. How does that sound? I have a question I didn't submit. What's your question, Charlie? Unfortunately, they just won't be anonymous questions. What do we think of the idea of air-fried PB&J? I can't have peanut butter. But you replace the peanut butter and jelly with some Nutella and fluff, and that sounds good. Are you a gummy worm? No! No, I am not! I'm not a gummy worm. Honk shoe. Thanks, Republican guy. I really love you, bitch. Incredible. That's how your day was? My day is doing... My day's going great. My day's going good. I went to the gym, and I ran some errands with my partner. I'm gonna go find some diorite. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Nutella and fluff sandwich. I need a little sugar. Can I draw you, Gravel? Of course. I have a fan art channel in my Discord server. I love seeing whenever people draw me. It brings joy to my life. Ooh, there's a little skeleton freak down there. But there's also what I need. Where'd that freak go? I hear you. Oh. Gravel, why are you not speaking out against capitalism and spreading awareness? Do you only follow me on TikTok? Because I absolutely have been. Yeah, no, I absolutely have been. Fuck capitalism. There's a lot of things I cannot say on TikTok without them censoring my account. So when I do speak out, it's in the Discord. It's on Twitter. It's on the Discord, it's on Twitter, or it's during my live streams. But I also speak out politically through my music as well. This freak, dude. Communism? What about communism? We love communism. Communism much better than whatever the fuck we've got going on now. Capitalism bad. Capitalism... See... I don't know how I want to word this. I think... I think that there are too many problems in America for it to continue down the path that it is. You know, I don't think that there is any fixing it. I only think that there is bringing it down. When you have this many problems stacked on top of each other, there's really like nothing you can do but get rid of it. You know? And like I said earlier, I don't like any politicians. I think they're all bad. I think some are better than others, but I think ultimately you cannot. I don't think any politicians are good. I think I think the only like relatively normal politician I've seen is like Bernie Sanders. But even still then, I think the issue is that a lot of the people that we are electing are old white men. And I think we need to just stop putting people in office that are like borderline senile. You're from America? Yes, I am. Yeah, no, I have a whole song about the way that this country treats trans people. I feel like the best way that I can speak out about the things going on in the country is by writing music. Music is one of those languages that just reaches more people, and it's one of the few ways that I can talk where people will listen and I won't get censored. Yeah, Mom Donnie's okay. Mom Donnie's pretty good. Mom Donnie's good. Mom Donnie and Bernie. Those are the two decent politicians that I can think of. The rest of them I can't. I just don't have good things to say. First thing I hear when joining this stream is old white men. Yeah, because we keep putting them in power, and that's the problem. That's the problem is we keep electing rich old white guys who just want more money, and that's the problem. That's the real issue that we have right now. I need more diorite. I don't have enough of it. Yeah, the only things that I can really do is keep documenting my life as a trans person. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. Because I think... I don't know. It's hard not to feel, like, hopeless with all of the stuff going on. And the only thing that I can really do to feel better about it is to keep documenting my experiences as a trans person and to keep talking about the things that I'm experiencing as a trans person. Because the more people that realize that trans people are just people, the better the world is going to get. Because right now, the news wants to weaponize transphobia. And people aren't realizing that trans people aren't the problem. So if trans people realize that they aren't... If people realize that trans people aren't the problem, then we start to solve the problem. Right? And we start to focus on the real issue. Bernie's an old man. Brother, Bernie is elderly. Dude, like... That man was fighting for us until the day he couldn't, dude. Now, when I was a kid, I talked to a trans person and realized they're just people like me. Yeah, and that's exactly what happens when people start to be de-influenced. That's just what happens. The amount of people who come in my comments and they say, oh, I didn't realize that, like, I relate to your stories, but I'm not trans. And that's just because people are forgetting that the human experience is universal, you know? But yeah, I'm going to move on to another question. But no, yeah. If anybody's ever confused about where I stand politically, we love trans rights, fuck ICE, and free Palestine. That's just a few of them. I could go on for hours. I think we need to I don't know. People need to start calling out creators for their political beliefs more, I think. I think that's another thing that we need to do. I feel like a lot of people remain quiet because nobody asks them. You know? And I feel like that's a big issue nowadays. I feel like if you want a creator if you want to know a creator's political beliefs, just ask. And if they're unwilling to tell you, then I don't know, don't support them, I guess. You don't have to not support them, but if your creator having similar political beliefs to you is something that's important to you, you can just ask. Sorry for the rambling. Which of the main canon bad haircuts was your first gender affirming haircut? The pixie cut. I was a victim to the pixie cut. Pink milk, I have not. Yes, what Parker said. Free Sudan, Palestine, Lebanon, and everyone else. We are not free until everyone is free. That is very true. Real and based Parker comics in the chat. But no, I want my community to be a safe space for everybody. Except for people who support ICE, and the US government and, Israel. I want my chat to be a safe space for everybody but them. Anybody that isn't hurting somebody else, this place is a safe space for you. And you are welcome in my community. If you support stripping away people's human rights, then I want you out. I want you to leave. And you can speak now and I'll ban you. My favorite streamer ignored my question. What's your question? What's your opinion on an orange being the president? I don't like him. But I also don't like any politician. I don't fuck with anything our government is doing, frankly. I don't fuck with anything our government is doing. And I don't fuck with anything specifically our president is doing. I don't know when, as a society, we stopped caring about the well-being of others. I don't know when we stopped caring about the well-being of other people. But yeah, you can assume when I say I don't like politicians, that I'm talking about most of them. Can you scroll up, please? Can you say it again? I can't say anything that won't let me. Then a mod probably deleted it. But yeah, no, if anybody wants clarification on where my political beliefs are, you are more than welcome to ask me. Try altering it ever so slightly then. Thank you, Parker, for putting the resources. Parker, if you're able to, could you also put those in YouTube and TikTok chat as well? Oh, Gravel Fan, that was like 2 years ago. I do have another series coming out, though. I don't even have the world for that anymore. I'm gonna be so real. I apologize. I have more things I'm cooking, don't worry. Here's another thing that I will say. For any cis people in the chat that don't understand how scary it is to be trans right now in America, when I was like 11 years old and I first transitioned, I made the decision that I was never going to change my legal name or gender, because I did not want my government to have documentation that I'm trans. That's a decision that an 11-year-old made. Or maybe I was like 13. But like it was very shortly after I had come out initially that I made that decision. That is not a choice that an 11-year-old should, or any child should ever have to make. But I was so aware as a kid that like my rights were at risk that I did not want my being trans to be documented. So for anybody that's either not an American or that's cis and doesn't really fully understand what's going on, that is how bad it's been for years. I'm 23 now. I'm 23 now. This is not new. None of this is new. This has been happening for a while. Trans people have been the scapegoat for a while. But it's really the reason that I keep making the videos that I make, because if trans people stop talking about being trans, then we're just going to disappear. So I'm going to keep making videos talking about queer history. And I'm going to keep making videos talking about my trans life experiences and talking about my transition, because if we lose education, it's just going to disappear. And that's what they want to happen. So yeah, if you're in here and you're transphobic and you're hate watching, just know that I do this as an act of revolution. Because if trans people stop talking, then trans people are going to disappear. So if you're trans and you're in this stream, keep talking about being trans. Do not let anybody silence you. Your voice matters, and I know that it is scary, but please use your voice. Talk about being trans. Share your queer experiences. Do not let them tell you that you can't. But anyways, that is why I have dedicated my entire career to talking about trans people and being trans. I am fully ready to make educational trans content on these platforms until I'm like at least 40. I've got like another 20 years in me. But yeah, sorry that the conversation got really serious really suddenly. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood where I stand in all of this. Because not for not 1 second do I want anybody to believe that I believe anything other than that. I do not want to be one of those creators that stays silent when it comes to things like this. Because at the end of the day, I'm a trans creator. Every video I've ever posted on this account is inherently political, because unfortunately my entire existence is political. So I feel like I cannot be making the type of content that I do and not be telling you guys where I stand politically and everything. My content may be very, like, lighthearted and fun. And I do that on purpose because it's easy to digest. But at the end of the day, this is a political channel. Every trans person is inherently political. Every video that you see about trans people, it's inherently political. Every video you see about a queer person is inherently political. You cannot be queer and have that not be a political thing in the world that we live in right now. Hydrate, okay. But no, just so that you guys know, I am absolutely ready to fight for every trans person, especially every trans person in this community, especially trans kids. I cannot imagine what it is possibly like right now. To all the young trans people in the chat, I cannot possibly imagine what it is like to be you right now and not have access to gender affirming care. And I am so sorry to any young trans people in chat right now who are struggling with that. But just know that this is a space where you are safe and you are supported. And we will provide you with whatever resources you need. The Discord server has so many people willing to give resources. We have an advice channel where you can ask advice from other trans people to see what they've done or how someone else in the server could help you. Through my videos, I try to provide resources and education. I have a video coming out tomorrow or Tuesday about the queer history behind trans masked lesbians. We gotta make sure that the history doesn't get lost, guys. Keep talking about queer history. Yo, bro, you said you can be playing Minecraft. I do play Minecraft. I love Minecraft. The minor, and I've already decided that I will not be transitioning at all, no matter how much I want to. August, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. Transitioning does not just mean testosterone. It does not just mean testosterone or hormones or surgeries. Like, you can transition without it being medical. You can absolutely transition without it being medical. Socially, transitioning is the first step. Sam, what are you talking about? But yeah, no, guys, if you feel hopeless right now, if you are a trans kid in the chat and you feel hopeless right now, please know that there are so many people, me included, who are willing to go to bat for you. I've dedicated my entire career to making sure that trans kids don't have to grow up like I did. Because children should not have to grow up like that. Ever. The amount of trauma and mental health issues that comes with growing up trans in America is not something that I wish on any child, or that I believe any child should go through. Hey, Gobble, should I wait another year or two before coming out to my parents so they know I'm sure? No. If you have the drive and motivation to come out to your parents now, and you know that they're not gonna, like, if you know that you're not going to be in danger, I would come out sooner rather than later if you're prepared to do it. Just so that 2 years later you can say, oh, well, I told you 2 years ago. Because whenever you tell them is when the clock is going to start for them. If that makes sense. I recently came out to my mom and it didn't go bad. MH, what does that mean? Is going to shit ever since. Oh, my mental health is going to... I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. I'm glad it didn't go bad, though. That is very good. Sometimes it takes people a while to come around, especially if they're, like, older. Especially if they're older, it takes people a lot. Because here's the thing. I have Gen X parents, and people always think, oh, well, it's never gonna be my kid until it's their kid, and then they're not prepared, right? So you kind of need to give time for them to process, oh, so it was my kid, right? And I know that sounds like kind of evil and stupid, but it really is. It is just a waiting game, and that sucks that there weren't resources for our parents to understand. But that just means that we can make sure that the next generation of children have those resources, and that we don't repeat the same mistakes that our parents did. The fact that I am probably going to have kids today has become a reality for me in recent months. And not like a reality as in like I'm having a kid soon, but like one day in the future, I'm going to probably have kids. And the reality of like the possibility of raising a child in America has struck me. And unfortunately, the only thing that we can do is make sure that we raise our kids differently. You know? And that is the only thing that we can do. Unfortunately, we need to coddle the older generations for the most part. I'm not saying that everybody that is like older needs to be coddled, but a wide majority of them did not have resources for these types of things growing up. Where the fuck is... Oh my god. Bro's got a whole tracksuit on. Ooh, I got some leggings. Yeah. Anyways, chat. How are we doing? Also, how many people do we have in the TikTok chat right now, out of curiosity? Please answer. Answer what? What am I answering? I'm so confused. 40? Damn. TikTok chat's usually like the dead one, which is crazy. People usually don't watch the TikTok stream because it's so much lower quality than the other one. Just join your Discord server. Let's go. Hello, TikTok chatters. But yeah, we're about to hit that 3-hour mark. I've been live a while. But yeah, who's excited for the viewer server? Anybody excited to play on the viewer Minecraft server? We have been working very, very hard on it. I gotta make more bread. I have more bread. Will you name your kid Pebble? That's crazy. Yeah, no, we've been working on a viewer Minecraft server for the past, like, couple of weeks. And it's gonna be releasing hopefully within the next month. Hopefully within the next month, the viewer server will be up. I want to make sure that my community is a fun and safe place for all queer people. And allies, of course. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just so locked in on farming wheat right now. How is Gravel? I'm curious, is Gravel your chosen name or alias? Gravel is just my alias. My name is Grayson. Or Gray. Most people call me Grayson. I don't know which direction I want to expand my farm. Probably out this way. 1, 2, 3. Bam. But yeah. Before we end stream, does anybody else have any quick questions they wanted to ask to wrap up the stream? I have a quick question. What is it, Parker? What is it? Is this pre-recorded? Get a grip. You gotta pull it together. Gravel. Yuri or Yowie? Yuri. It's always Yowie this, Yowie that. I don't give a fuck. This is pretty solid. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Names of your songs? They are on my YouTube and Twitter. Bada bing, bada boom. Aw, my hoe broke. Well, shit. Alrighty. Chat, I think this is gonna be it for stream. Chat, I think we're gonna end stream. Any thoughts on Spider-Punk? Spider-Punk's pretty cool. Avatar's cool. Thank you guys. But don't leave just yet if you're on Twitch. Because we're gonna do a raid. We're gonna raid out. I need to see who's live. Let me see. And I gotta refresh and see who's live. But also stay, because we have little end credits. We have little end credits that we do. Little end credits that we do at the end of stream. So if you followed this stream on Twitch, or if you subbed to this stream, gave bits, you'll be in the credits of the stream. We're gonna raid mazes again. All right, chat. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm sending you guys to the end credits.